For those of you who were around on my channel, probably around March of last year, when the Asian American community got an anti-Asian hate crime bill put on the books, signed by the Biden administration for them to pretty much get all kinds of protection, I said specifically, well, not exactly verbatim, that once they get that anti-Asian hate crime bill to protect them, they were going to start feeling themselves. And one of the main demographics of people that they were going to come after and target as far as their little taunts or try to bait anyone was definitely going to be black people. We saw it when it came to Juju Chang and Michelle Malkin and that Yami Park person. Yeah, those three right there are prime examples of that. But I came across this tweet on Twitter from this individual named Kenny Zhu. I have no clue who they are. Their bio says that they are president of the CUU_org, an author and a podcaster for something called Inconvenient Minority. Apparently, I guess I don't know if they're an author or whatever, but they put this tweet up on December the 3rd. It is now the 11th, and I just came across it today. And people have been going in on him for like the last week from this one tweet. And it says, let me list all of the problems that black Americans face that is shared by people of no other race. Okay, list over. Yes, it is true. If a black person has a problem, an Asian or white person has the same problem somewhere in America. There's nothing special about your race. Notice who he decided to put next to who to put next to who. He said Asian or white person because, you know, many of them seem to think that they are in bed with them. Some of them are, honestly, literally and figuratively. You want to know what's so interesting? I just did a video about this PC man who ran over this Asian man and could have killed him when he was hanging onto his car to avoid being ran over him. But then he got thrown off of the person's car and into a construction area where he's lucky, and I'm not even mean extremely lucky, to be alive. I wonder what they have to say about that. Listen, we live rent-free in these individuals' heads for them to say something like that. And this person most likely isn't even from America. 9 times out of 10, they immigrated from the East. But they come over here, they get fat, literally, off of us, and then they come online and spew this type of rhetoric. And then if you come at them some type of way, they'll yell anti-Asian hate, and then they'll call the entire AAPI on you like the snitch that they are and try to have you shut down in some way of capacity. And then they go on and scurry off into the night, like pretending that they're a whole victim in a situation, like they did not just say what they said or did what they did. Remember, that anti-Asian hate crime bill, a lot of it was built up on lies that a lot of the attacks that was happening to Asian people was at the hands of black people. But I can find so many stories and have done so many stories where a lot of the people who have attacked Asian people are falling into these two categories: PC people or other Asians. I have a question for this Kenny Zhu person. Kenny, what is your take on these parlors that are getting busted up into, where it has been exposed that a lot of the women running them are involved with human and sex trafficking of young women? Some are minor age, having them sleep in broom and linen closets until one of them gets plucked out for a John, most likely a PC one, and probably also an Asian one. Why, Kenny, while we're talking about abuse, why don't we talk about the domestic abuse stats and rates that are going crazy in your community? Because it's no secret that some of the biggest domestic violence abusers are Asian men. But they got all this smoke for black people. Like, really look at this tweet. Like, really look at what he said. Let me list all the problems that black Americans face that is shared by people of no other race. He's basically saying that black people have never dealt with anything in just ever. Like, if that went over your head, I don't know what to tell you. This guy literally tried to downplay everything that black Americans in particular, because that's who I'm talking to, because I believe that's who he's talking to. He literally downplayed what black Americans have gone through past and current day. So we're going to pretend that antebellum slavery didn't happen. We're going to pretend that the civil rights movement didn't happen. We're going to pretend that a lot of black towns were destroyed. We're going to pretend that didn't happen. We're going to pretend redlining did not happen. We're going to pretend that the infiltration of a lot of black organizations that were just trying to help us organize did not happen. We're going to pretend that the bombing on Move did not happen, even though that happened less than 40 years ago. We're going to pretend police brutality is not a thing. We're going to pretend that stop and frisk wasn't a thing. We're going to pretend that Trayvon Martin, Mike Brown, Tamir Rice, Sandra Bland, Rekia Boyd, Ayanna Stanley Jones, Atatiana Jefferson, George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, Alton Sterling, Eric Garner, Jordan Davis, and a host of other names that I can't even think of. I'm surprised I even remembered that many because there's so many. We're going to pretend all of those did not happen. And the vast majority of them and their families did not get justice. Only a small handful, it wasn't even a handful of those people, family actually got some type of justice. I think out of all of them, Ahmaud Arbery was the one that got the true justice. And Jordan Davis, because they actually got life sentences. So we're just going to sit here and pretend that we didn't go through nothing. Y'all listening right now, according to this Kenny Zoo person, whoever he is, black people didn't go through a thing. He says, yes, it is true. If a black person has a problem, an Asian or white person has the same problem. Everything that I just mentioned, especially that first one, no Asian or white person has ever gone through that. And the scary part about tweets like this is that this is what they'll try to use to rewrite. Yes, I said rewrite history. And they will use tweets like this coming from people like him, scumbags like him, to try and push the narrative. I don't know whose PC ass he's trying to kiss to get to some pie in the sky by putting this out there. But it's very interesting that he made sure to align himself with that. He didn't say any other group. He said Asian or white person. Ladies and gentlemen, who's ever listened to me right now, they are telling you to your face or online who their ally is. But the unfortunate part about me talking about what I'm talking about right here is that you will still have a lot of our people who will still go and support their businesses. They'll still go and support their restaurants. They'll still go and support their beauty supply stores. They'll still go and get their nails done by them. They'll still go to their convenience stores. And so on and so forth. And the crazy part about it is years ago when a black girl named Latasha Harlins went into an Asian-owned store. She walked in alive, but she was carried out dead with a bullet in the back of her head. But according to Kenny here, we didn't go through nothing. We didn't go through a damn thing and have no right to complain whatsoever. We should just be fine with the hand that we have been dealt. Again, this Kenny person most likely could be first generation born, which means his family, his parents, and any other ancestor is from another nation. And he's going to come over here. His family's going to come over here, plant their flag, and then proceed to tell us what we have and have not gone through, and acts what makes us so special. You know what else I think it also is? I think a lot of these other groups, besides PC, of course, are feeling the heat behind the reparations conversation. And it is irking the hell out of them. If this is a tweet that is a loose response to that, then to Kenny Zoo, thank you for showing all of your feathers, you flightless motherfucker. Because I think that might be what this is in response to. Let me know in the chat. Do you think that Kenny is posting this tweet in response to all of the reparations discussions? Because I've seen a lot of PC people and others, you know, their co-colonizing cohorts, have said some things when it pertains to reparations, and some of it, you know, they feel some type of way about it. Like they are upset that the reparations discussion has gone from being online to offline, and even gotten into some people's desks and documents, pen to pad. And it is scaring the shit out of them. I wonder. That's just the curiosity that I have. It could be. I wouldn't be surprised if my theory, if my hunch was correct about why Kenny posted this tweet. Because black people have been making noise about reparations. So now you have all these other people who won't benefit from it, got to find a way to downplay black people's history and culture and heritage and lineage to try to derail from the conversation. Nice try, Kenny, but no dice. It's also tweets like this, which is why we as black people need an anti-black hate crime bill on the books. Because if we had one, stuff like this wouldn't last very long. And see, that's another reason why other groups are glad we don't have one. And they do, because they get away with stuff like this. We're pretty much left wide open with no kind of life raft to protect us or keep us above water to prevent from drowning. They know because we don't have any type of protection, at least kind of any type of governmental protection, we're left wide open for attack. But if you were to rearrange the words in this statement, in this tweet, to make it go against them, and it was tweeted from a black person, they'll get an email from Twitter saying that, you know, oh, you can't tweet for the next few hours, or you can't tweet for the next couple of days to a week, or all the way to the point where, oh, we suspended your account because of a violation of hate speech. I can guarantee it. But this can stay up. This isn't seen as violating or hate speech against black people. Well, remember when I did that video about how the N-word usage went up like hundreds of percentages when Elon Musk took over? This guy didn't have to say the N-word in the tweet. This tweet is one big saying of F you nigger without actually having to say it. All you got to do is read between the lines. And Kenny Zoo, you ain't nothing but a goddamn great value version of Shang-Chi any goddamn way.